What is going on, you wonderful subscribers? If you're still out there after about a month or two of inactivity, I salute you because this has been the longest time I haven't recorded a video. The last time I uploaded was back in a record store day or a little bit after that, where I basically bought all those things and kind of showed them to you and just felt, whatever. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough time, like with the semester coming into an end and finishing all the projects and shit like that. And unfortunately, I couldn't have time to watch Iron Fist and come back and talk about the episode. But whatever. Now this is a semester is like literally just one more day and that's it. Back to the regular scheduling of watching Luke Cage and telling you about the shit. And before I go on with further in the video, happy Free Comic Book Store Day. And obviously, probably everything's closed at this point. It's almost 10 o'clock. But if you did a free record store day, not free record store day. I got them confused. Free comic book store, free comic book day, you know, cool. You celebrated, you took part in it. If you didn't, well, there's always next year. But basically, the whole point of it, if you're unfamiliar, is basically introducing people to comic books who haven't really read comic books or haven't been in the comic book store or any of that nature. Just to get in with it, and it's like basically, I'm gonna show you the stuff that I bought today, along with a free comic book. Kind of got a little bit of stuff, but let's get it out of the way before further ado. Anyway, the first thing, or not the first thing, but one of the things that I bought, well, including this hat, by the way, I almost forgot about it, even though I've been wearing it till the start of the video. It's actually pleather, and this is embroidered a logo instead of like printed on or stitched on. It's actually like metal, which is actually pretty cool. It feels pretty cool, and it's like kind of like a lazy way of actually building the Flash costume without actually doing anything. Because already have a Flash shirt, wear some red shorts, and boom, I have a Flash costume. Not really. It's more of a DIY thing. Anyway, so I bought two shirts from Hot Topic. From TV shows and shit like that. One being Negan, that's really badass looking, and then the second, the being Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, uh, they had kind of like a gorillas inspired design, where it's like the four guardians or whatever would fit into the iconic gorillas album cover. I don't forgot which album cover it is, but it's basically where they're like in the profile and they're just kind of like different interpretations. And since Gorilla came out with a new album last month, I mean I've been hearing all about Gorillas from Von Me Please to uh, um, uh, pages dedicated to hip hop, everything. I mean, what's not to like about the Gorillaz? I mean, the Gorillaz are pretty. The Gorillaz kind of remind me of the hip hop version of Metalocalypse. I mean, they're basically a fictional band, a cartoon band that plays real music in the real world, I guess you could say. But the thing is, I think with the latest album called Humans, they bought into the real world where it's like they're no longer drawings. They're kind of like 3D images of the characters that play the music, which is kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting to look at. Anyway, so getting into the comic books, it's kind of like a lot of them. I have like actually it was gonna be nine, but I got one from someone else, which is Rick and Morty, which is pretty cool. I like the show Rick and Morty, so here it is. So I'm gonna start from like bottom to top or whatever. The first thing is Wonder Woman, Rebirth. I don't know if it's a new 52, but yeah, no, I think it's a new, like after the new 52 is a DC Universe Rebirth, and obviously it's completely free. Had free comic books day, and then here's the first one. I'm not really not gonna get too much into detail, because whatever. But just anyway, the next one is The Walking Dead, and it's funny because I found this on the shelf. I wanted to buy it, but I wasn't, because I already bought two graphic novels like a few weeks ago, or last month or whatever, and I wanted to like I would really want to buy some more, because like read what I have so far. But I was pleased to find this in my bag because like I've been wanting to collect Walking Dead comic books, but I never really got the chance to actually buy some more. But this is really interesting. I'm assuming it's the most current issue of it. Well, I've been kind of talking kind of fast. Anyway, the next is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I mean, I'm not saying like I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's kind of interesting. I mean, they paid homage to Daredevil in one of the comics where it's like you know the thing that blinded the canister of chemicals that blinded Matt Murdock is kind of like the same chemicals that gave the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles their powers. So it's kind of like a kind of an homage to it. And since they're not technically Marvel, they couldn't technically say straight out that it was Matt Murdock, whatever. But it was heavily implied. So I think that was kind of interesting. The next is this one I'm definitely looking forward to going through is Spidey. I think might have mentioned in another video that growing up, Spider-Man was one of my favorite superheroes growing up because it's like I had the shirts, I had everything, the games and all that shit. I mean, I was in one of the kids that collected VHSs of TV shows, but certainly when it came on, whatever version it was, it's just like I was just ecstatic of that it came out on Fox or whatever. And the next comic book thing is Secret Empire, and which is kind of interesting because it has the Captain America on there. I'm assuming this is after like, oh yeah, it is actually it is because I was gonna say this is after where he said like Hail Hydra and all that shit. And if you look at the background, it has a lot of Hydra influenced background. So it should be interesting on what's going on in here in there. Um, oh, and next is a Brick and Morty. Actually got this from another bag, because someone like we got the same shit, so we got the same stuff in the bags, and it's kind of like get the stuff that I did, that was the same, and just give me this, I'm more of a fan than they are. So like I'm a huge fan of the show. I mean, not like a huge fan like everybody else seems to be is a huge fan, but I like some of the episodes, and it's the shit is really really weird and really bonkers. It's kind of like not as ridiculous as Robot Chicken, but it's kind of like reminds me of Back to the Future if it was a little bit more vulgar. I guess. I mean, yeah, I mean, because some episodes are just way the hell out there, just really like I mean, their imagining is just it's really interesting. It's really bizarre, and it's just like if you're a fan of the show, you'll be definitely a fan of the comic book straight up. Um, Next is I've never really heard of this one, but it's under Image Comics, and says it's rated M for mature. At first, when I first saw it, I thought it was like a kid's comic book because it looked like a kid's drawing. But when I paid close attention to it, it looked kind of like the stuff that's meant for kids, but it's actually like for adults. Anyway, so here is the comic book. I hate Image. Oh wait. If it's by Image, yeah, it's by Image, so it must be like a self parody thing or something. And then the next is the Haunted Mansion, which I'm assuming it's based off that Eddie Murphy movie that was out a few years back. That I mean, where he tried to do family friendly movies and it just seemed kind of like too forced, I guess you could say. But this is apparently. Oh, actually, yeah, because I was looking at the corner and I was kind of curious that it says Marvel. Like, why is it Marvel? And at the bottom it says Disney. And of course, like a few years back, Disney bought out the company, so that makes sense, I guess. Second to the last is actually another one that I'm excited to look through is Guardians of the Galaxy, but it says all new Guardians of the Galaxy, so I'm assuming it's like like a revamp from like the older original version or something. It's funny because like I like comic books and shit, but I don't really like keep up with like the new versions or whatever. Anyway, so this I think is the least I'm excited to read, but I guess it being a comic book, I'll check it out or whatever. But not really like super stoked on it. But here it is. Yeah, it looks kind of more like for kids or some shit, but whatever. And that's basically it for the free comic books. I was gonna say comic book store day or whatever. I'm not getting confused because last month was record store day and this month is free comic book day, free comic book, nothing about the store, comic book. And I think that the concept is actually pretty interesting. Like when I first heard about it when I was in high school, I just thought it was kind of weird. Like, so you're giving away comic books. That's like the concept is just kind of weird to me. But like when I read about it, like when I was like doing research on it, it made more sense. Like it's kind of like an introduction to people. Like it's not necessarily giving out the good comic books. It's for the people to whatever. But of course, it's what I mean. Anyway, yeah, I'm about to lose my breath because I've been talking so fast and without any break. Anyway, so the book that I'm currently reading, like before I move on with everything else, I have a huge, a queue of books. Anyway, the book that I'm currently reading is this one. As I think I might have mentioned in another video. It's actually pretty interesting. I'm on chapter 3 right now. I'm going on chapter 4, and it's pretty interesting so far. It's like it's like this company that sends people up into space, like a tourism attraction or something, and it's kind of like a whole company that's built around that. And the so they take, along with several other sponsors. He takes a basketball player that's basically well known, and it's supposed to be Michael Jordan because the initials are MJ, so that's not exactly sneaky. But anyway, so MJ dies on one of the trips, and it's just a huge nightmare for the main character. Just it's insane because it's like he's being blamed, he's being sued, he's being fired, just the whole nine, and it's just a huge complete mess. And sorry if my voice sounds like it's breaking. Like I said, I've been talking like crazy. Anyway, so yeah, the it's going pretty good so far. It's just like I like the writing, and like what you might have seen, it's like one of the co-writers is actually written by two people, but one of the co-writers is actually Buzz Aldrin, the second person who walked the Earth. I mean, walk the Earth. What the fuck? Walk the moon. So basically it's like what you're reading, like when it comes to do with space and all that other stuff is actually accurate, which I think is most interesting. And I think I just showed you in the last video my next two comic books that I'll be reading, or the graphic novels that people like to prefer, is yeah, I already showed you, but just to kind of like show you again, I guess. I don't think I just showed it for a quick second, but it is, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, just a lot of reading. I don't really mind. I like reading, but at the same time, I get distracted. Oh shit! I almost forgot this one thing. Like I've been showing you all the comic books and shit. I just forgot this one thing. Anyway, so I bought one thing from the comic book store. This it's an Iron Fist special edition or whatever. You know bobblehead figure type of things. And I thought it was kind of interesting because, like, because it seemed appropriate because since I'm talking about Iron Fist on this channel and I'm watching the show, might as well get a little knickknack to remember or whatever. I don't know. I'm just rambling, I guess. Anyway, so that has been it with a video. That has been it with a free comic book day, and I'm back. Hopefully with a good solid schedule this time, and see you with another video. And I'm out like the flash. Wait, I think I screwed up on that. Let's do it again. I'm out with another video. No, I'm out. Whatever. I'll see you with another video later.